for Darcy's subplot, let me just wrap that one up. Like they come a call, the Russian mob guys come a call into Darcy, like, kid, give us $1,200. He's like, guess what? I'm living in a fucking ice rink.
He's like, where exactly do you think I'm gonna get this money? Not from sweeping. It is not a highly lucrative job.
Are you going to beat me up? Like, what is happening? That, like, you have no threat towards me. Like,
Darcy is basically like, blood from a stone, bro. What are you gonna do? And Mercury comes out and he's like, what's going on here? And the Russian mob guys are like, jail dad owes some money. We're gonna get it out of Darcy. And Mercury's like, that's pretty ridiculous. And then just takes a wad of cash. This is totally discordant with having the terrible truck. Takes a wad of cash out, counts off like less than half of it, and is like, here's $700. Now we're square. And refers to the mob guy's boss by name that we're even. The mob guy's like, doesn't work like that. And I'm like, if I was you, before I said it didn't work like that, I'd check to see who the fuck Mercury is, because, like, he seems to know what's up.
Was Mercury a John Wick-esque figure on skates?
It seems like it, because later, when he calls to get Maddie into regionals, he is kind of threatening on the phone, and is like, you owe me one. I'm calling in the favor. Like, if that doesn't have John Wick written or John Wick 2 specifically, written all over it, I do not know what does. So Mercury is kind of a dark horse figure throughout what is supposed to be, but is not at all, a lighthearted teen girl movie.
He is the human version of Flicka.
Yes. Okay. Oh my God! We completely forgot about why Darcy doesn't play hockey anymore. He paralyzed his friend. He flicked his friend. This was so crazy, and is never ever addressed again. Like, I'm so sorry to be yelling, but when this happened, so part of Maddie's rehab is that she takes these bike rides. First on the stationary bike, and then out in the field so that they can have these heart-to-hearts with Darcy. And Darcy mostly says, come on, you can do it, keep going, come on, you can do it, keep going. Like, that's the extent. And then they get into these heart-to-hearts where she's like, why don't you play hockey anymore? He's like, a thing happened. And she's like, oh, were you injured? No. But I hurt someone else. And she...
I know the exact lines, because I was like, this is like the darkest shit I've ever heard.
It is so insane. Like, because previously we had seen him playing guitar with a boy in the wheelchair, and I was like, oh, that's nice that Darcy's like volunteering his time to teach this boy guitar.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, so the conversation is like, Darcy's like, I got in a fight, and it's like, that's why you can't play anymore. It's like, I got in a fight with a friend, and because of the fight, he can't play anymore.
Oh my gosh!
like hockey.
He like literally looks like he weighs 85 pounds, soaking wet, meaning he was fueled by rage, steroids, Mercury's doctor. It is all coalescing.
Okay, I have a theory. Mercury was into betting on child sports.
Blood sports. Blood on the ice.
And then, he pushed Darcy to get the steroids to play harder and better than ever.
But Darcy's body is so very small.
And, so...
Too many steroids!
So then, he whatchamacallit, Darcy gets in a fight, and that ends that part of it. And he's like, I'm just gonna go back to being a normal...
Because he paralyzed someone.
I'm going to go back...
It cannot be overstated how crazy that is.
I'm going back to being a normal ice rink owner.
Attendant?
Yeah. And that's why he has so much money, because he just drops
Oh, you're talking about Mercury, not Darcy.
Yeah, I'm talking about Mercury. He drops so much money on a truck, and there's never any saying for Mercury that says I don't have enough money to cover any of these insane things
Mercury
I'm doing.
Is literally flush with cash. The doctor says to him...
Wait, sorry. I have this one other
part
of the
theory. Go.
So, Darcy's dad got in the way. So Mercury framed him. And that's why he lets Darcy live at the ice rink, to keep an eye on him, and also because he feels a debt to this man. And his whole reason...
This is straight fire.
And his whole reason for training Maddie is because he sees another meal ticket.
Yes.
He's like, if she wins that gold, that's 100 large. For people who bet big money on child sports.
Oh my god, now it makes sense. Because I cannot figure out who cared about this performance at all. But when the doctor tells Mercury, it's And we are never told if Mercury is his first or last name. It's his only name, like Madonna or Prince. So he says these treatments are going to be very expensive. The blood platelets, also known as steroids. And then
super rich plasma.
Yeah, and then Mercury, super rich indeed. Mercury says, like, as if it is nothing. Doesn't ask the price, just says, I got it covered. Like, money is not an object to Mercury. Mercury's a bully, and maybe that's why he didn't want to get involved with Kelly. Didn't want to pull her down into that life.
Because he's like...
Forehead touches only.
I already brought down her dad, like...
No, not Kelly's dad, Kelly's husband.
I know, but Kelly's husband, who fathered...
You're saying Maddie's dad.
Maddie's dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to wrap this up because...
Okay, so...
we need to start writing the sequel and the prequel to Ice Girls.